Law and Amp. Order directors. Fox News Flash. Top headlines for April 17th are here. Check out what's. Maddie Corman's husband was caught with child sex abuse images in X2014. And yet she stood by. In 2016, TV director, best known for his work on, was sentenced in New York to 10 years probation on child pornography charges. He was sentenced after pleading guilty to promoting a sexual performance by a child and possessing an obscene performance by a child. He had faced up to. Prosecutors say digital files showing minors engaged in sex acts were found on computers at the director's Dobbs Ferry, NY, home in 2015. Alexander had directed more than a dozen episodes of Law Order.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.